Hey everyone, this is Michael Drain from the Unpopular Culture Podcast. You are listening to the BS Podcast Network. Hope you enjoy the show.
Hey, this is Maggie Carr from Maggie vs. Evil Dead. You can look it up on YouTube, and God have mercy on your soul, because you're about to listen to Sean on Horribly Awkward Podcast.
Whoa! I bet you weren't expecting that, right? Plot twist! Okay, I have a very, very, very special thing to show you guys. I have something for you. It's very special. To me, it's very special. Nothing but love right here from Slammerkin. Yes, Liza and Sam from Slammerkin. You guys have heard them on the show. You've heard their music on the show. I have another new track from them. I'm going to play that at the end. It's called Two Worlds. That's their newest track. But I have something even better than that. Even more special than that. You're probably asking, Sean, what's more special than a new Slammerkin song? And I get it. I mean, that's hard to top. A new Slammerkin song is freaking hard to top that, right? But I do have something better. I have something much better. I have a Slammerkin created song specifically for the Horribly Awkward Podcast. Yeah. Sam and Liza, they sat down and created something for me. I feel so special right now. I'm blushing. I'm sweating. I don't know why I said I'm sweating, but I guess I am sweating. I'm sweating out of excitement. If you guys can only taste the sweat, it's exciting. It's like one drop of this. It's like LSD. This is fantastic. I'm going to play this right now. This is going to be basically my permanent outro, or at least for a long, long time. And I had no idea it was going to be so dope. I mean, I knew Slammerkin is amazing, so don't take that the wrong way. I just didn't know it was going to have this funky rap vibe to it. And it's poetic, it's cryptic, it's fucking fantastic. I'm going to play this right now. So this is, this is out of the normal. I don't usually just stop the intro and play stuff, but I have to play this right now. And then we're going to get into the fun-ass time I had with Silvia Saige. Silvia Saige is a adult film actress and a stand-up comedian, so the combination of those two things is pretty wild. So I'm going to get to that here in a second. After I play this, you're going to hear the improv that me and Silvia did, and then we're going to get right into that podcast. This is an exciting week. You have no idea. And once again, thank you to all listeners. I love every single one of you. But, my friends are better than yours. Slammerkin, Liza, Sam, I love you guys. Thank you so much. Here it is.
Hey, it's the S to the M and the L to the Isa. Slammerkins in the house, so drop your and listen. Pour with glee, backward cock flash. Merrily sock, bird telecast. Destiny doctor downcast. Carelessly squandered lamb. Heavenly slaughtered broadcast. It's the Horribly Awkward Podcast. Yeah, that was alright.
We did it. Pretty good.
That's pretty sweet.
I don't know.
I think we've got big things coming up for us
I know,
now.
it's like-
This is kind of just like the beginning. Like,
That's right.
it's just like totally sweet that he has this to open his show with.
I know, because it's like amazing. Although he could close the show with it too, and it's like as good.
He could open and close it
Because it's so good. Like it's those
just-
two things.
it
It's
could-
like two things in one.
Yeah, he could even play it backwards.
Oh my god. Maybe we
And
should.
then it'd be like people are gonna like hear secret messages in it, like they did with the Beatles.
Because we're like,
We're basically like the Beatles.
yeah.
Yes! Sam, Liza, thank you. Slammerkin, thank you. So awesome. Back to the show. Or start the show. Something like that. If there's any new listeners, just know there's not always this much stuff before the show gets rolling. And I do appreciate that you took this journey with us. Because you're about to listen to Silvia Saige, who is amazing. Such a fun conversation. Enjoy.
Okay. Improv scene. Take one. Action.
Hey, Silvia. Thanks for showing up. And we're right on time.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had a few things going on with my stomach, so I'm happy I showed up on time as well.
Well, I think our seats ready. Let's Is our seat ready, sir? Oh, yep. Let's go. He's telling us to go over here and sit down. Let's go take a seat.
Great, fantastic.
Yeah. How you been?
Amazing. Thank you for bringing me, by the way.
Oh, great. Let me get this chair from you. I'm a gentleman. I get chairs for the sexy ladies. Here you go.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Let's sit down. So I don't know how has things been?
Things are really good. My career is really taken off. I'm about a month away from being homeless. Things are going really, really well.
Ooh, that sucks. I wouldn't drink so much of their coffee here. It's really strong. It's a diuretic. It goes straight through.
Is it? Okay,
Yeah.
I'll try to stick to wine in that case.
Yeah. You might not want to. You might want to chill. Yeah, you want to chill on the coffee. Last time I was here, I ended up crapping my pants, which was
Rough. That's rough. Maybe you shouldn't have brought me to a Thai restaurant then.
Yeah. Well, I thought I'd try something new. I never tried this yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hey, where are you going?
Oh, just gonna run to the restroom real quick. I'm gonna powder my nose.
Oh, okay. Hey, Sylvia, hold on. You might want to check your dress. It's
My dress.
I don't know. You could pull the back around to the front and kind of like look at it.
Oh no. That's just a new perfume I'm trying. It's it is a temporary stain. It goes away.
I maybe you sat in the coffee.
Maybe that's what it was.
No, that's not good.
No, you're gonna have to definitely take care of that. Is there a dress store nearby?
I got it. Let me wipe it off. Oh, this is not coming off. No. Damn it! This place, I tell you this place is crap. I'm never eating here again.
It is crap. This place is crap.
And scene!
Indeed.
It's always awkward.
Hey Norma, give us the horribly awkward.
Horribly awkward. Horribly awkward.
That's horrible. I can't even control myself. It's so horribly awkward.
This is so awkward.
It's so awkward.
This is horribly awkward. No one off.
Horribly awkward. Horribly awkward.
Horribly awkward.
Horribly awkward.
Horribly awkward.
Horribly awkward. Sean, dude, you're horribly awkward. Sean, I know you think this is weird, but it's not as weird as you think it is, dude.
Don't do that, it's awkward.
Welcome to episode 66 of Horribly Awkward. If you want to know a crazy story sparked that improv, you have to listen to the tail end of the podcast. And you're not going to want to miss it because it's an awesome story. I'm so happy I heard that story right now. I might have a Slammerkin song, a new Slammerkin song for my friends, and I might play that at the end of the podcast. So listen there. And if you don't hear me saying this right now, it's because I edited it out and I didn't get the file on time. But it's probably there. I'm Sean, and this week I am your host. In case you forgot, I just thought I'd remind you. And thanks for downloading and listening. I do appreciate it. If you like what you hear, tell a comedian, tell a writer, tell the doorman, because word of mouth is a beautiful thing. So use what your mama gave you. And I'm not talking about your booty. I have a voicemail number. If you want to tell me some stuff, I will play it. That voicemail number is 510-600-3475. And as always, you can find that number down below in the description. So don't crash your car or stop humping. Finish what you're doing and come back and look at the number later. And then call and leave me a message. You can also reach out to me the old-fashioned way at horriblyawkwardpodcast@gmail.com. On today's show... Okay, this is a first for the podcast. Sure, I've had a few stand-up comedians on. It was a very fun time, but I've never had a stand-up comedian who also does adult film. Yes, this is true. I'm excited. I'm so excited right now. I don't know what to say. I'm shy. I'm nervous. I'm sweating. I've got half my clothes off because I'm burning up. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome Silvia Saige.
Hello. That is quite the introduction. I really appreciate that. I feel like I should be coming out for the Lakers right now is what I really feel like.
Yeah, our UFC fight. Silvia.
Maybe that's what it is.
Saige.
Right.
I try to do a good job. I try to introduce it, make it exciting.
You do well. You do well.
Much appreciated. So what is up with you besides the story that we heard? That if you guys want to hear that story, I'm seriously, listen to the end. It's always at the end. Listen to that story. It was great.
A lot of things are up. I've been doing a ton of comedy. I'm starting to headline around here in LA and San Diego, taking off to New York for a few days for the holidays. So lots of travel, which is always fun for me. And shooting some new content as well. So new scenes should be up as early as tomorrow. I don't know when this podcast will actually air, but by then I'll probably have new content up for all of my viewers. So
Yeah, this will go out on Sunday. So Sunday the 27th.
Perfect.
Yeah, so what kind of content? You got adult film content, you got
adult film content is the new stuff coming out. But I do have some things that I need to just get on tape, and I'm going to put some new stuff up on my YouTube as well, because people are always asking for new comedy, and I haven't updated in about a year on my YouTube channel, so people are been asking. So I'll work on that as well.
Yeah, I really want to see that. I watched the few that are on there.
Yeah.
I watched them a couple times, and the one that's like 9 minutes long, it looks like someone's shooting it from a balcony, maybe. Mm-hmm. I really like that one. You got really animated with your jokes, and that really adds to the visuals of it, which I like visual comedy in a way.
Right. Thank you. That was in Las Vegas, actually.
That was awesome. So how do you go from doing adult film and then get into stand-up comedy? I'm really, really interested in this story.
Well, it's not how it worked. I actually was a stand-up comic first, and then I got into adult films. Yeah, I've been doing stand-up comedy for 4+ years now, and I got into adult only once I moved to LA, which was 2 years ago. So.
Really? Oh, okay. That's a different way of doing it.
Yeah, and then I just combined the two, and I started doing stand-up under my adult film star name, and my career kind of took a jump from there. So people weren't really interested to just hear another female comic, but they were very interested to hear a female comic who also does adult films. So
yeah, I get it. When you're watching a female comic who's talking about doing anal and then the butthole loosens up and then there's shit falling out, I'm like, I'm in. I'm totally in. This is awesome.
That's the girl I want to go with. Yeah.
Yeah, just go all the way. Go all the way up.
Yeah, I don't really leave anything out, and I think I ruin porn for a lot of men on my sets, or when they come to see me on stage. But I don't really care because the women love me, so it's great. And people would think the exact opposite, that women would hate my stand-up, but they adore it. So it's fantastic for me.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome. So who are some of your inspirations for comedy?
All male characters, by the way. I'm a huge fan of Jim Jeffries.
Yes.
Absolutely amazing. I love the horrificness that Anthony Jeselnik can bring to a stage and still make them laugh. I just really like in-your-face comics that are kind of no apologies, because that's how I feel my comedy is. And my life, really. No apologies.
I love that. I wish I had that kind of confidence. I'm super apologetic about everything, and it sucks. It's just a character defect I have.
Yeah, sometimes I wish I were a little less no fucks given, because it kind of does hurt me from time to time as well. But I tend to think that everyone will see my way eventually, so I'm like the most hard-headed individual you'll ever meet.
Yeah, you gotta be. Like you say, you like Jeselnik. I remember that show you had. It was just unapologetically rude.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, it's great.
What was that called?
Love. Oh, I've been a fan of his for years, but.
What was that show you had, though? That was like on Comedy Central.
Oh, a Comedy Central show. I don't even know. I don't have cable, so I haven't had cable for years. I've been poor.
Oh, no.
I'm a Netflix girl, so if it's on Netflix, I've seen it.
Netflix is the shit, though. Netflix is awesome. They're putting out the best shit.
All the unlimited TV I want. It's great.
Yeah, and they're putting out their own content, which is like the king of content right now, almost.
Yeah, my goal in the next 2 years is to have my own Netflix series. That's the goal. So,
oh, yeah, do that. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. So you do. I followed you on Instagram recently. I see you've been doing a lot of different shows. I know you were doing shows with. I've been following Sally Mullins.
Oh my God, I love Sally. She's one of my favorite people on the planet. Just love her to death. She's great. Yeah,
she does some interesting stuff. I don't even know how to put that into words.
that's what I love about her is she is also so very unapologetic, and she's like, this is what I'm doing, and here's what I mean. She shocks me, and I think I'm the unshockable. She's great though. I don't know, do your viewers know anything about what she does?
I don't think so. I don't think I've ever really mentioned it. I started following her recently.
I don't think she would mind the plug, let's just say that.
Yeah, big shout out to Sally Mullins.
So Sally does a few different shows. She does a Drone Box live show. She does a Women Are Funny comedy show. She has a regular show at the Comedy Store. But she also runs a Craigslist show where she literally has a Craigslist ad, and she solicits to young men over the age of 18, but they have to be in their 20s at the latest. And Sally is a woman in her mid to late 40s, I believe, but still looks phenomenal, by the way, phenomenal body. And she solicits these young men for sex, and then she videotapes their reaction to them getting to the house. She does not record sex, but she does have the sex and then records their reaction afterwards. And it's called Hello Cougar, and it's fantastic.
That's the premise of that. I need now I'm really I got to watch it all. I got to binge watch that shit.
What I'm saying is this is a woman with no fucks given, and she's fabulous. I just love it. I hope that in the next 15 years that my inhibitions go that far out the window, you know? So
that's a new kind of creativity. I like that. That's a really cool idea.
It. Yeah, she's amazing. And she treats everyone like they're, you know, her best friend and have been for years. So she's a fabulous person.
Oh, yeah, we get along good then. Cause,
yeah.
Do you know Bobby Vinetz?
Bobby Vinetz, I do that name kind of rings a bell, but I do not know that. I say this, I'm kind of an asshole. I smoke a lot of weed, and so I hit people from time to time, and I'll see them out in public, and they're like, and I'm like, oh, it's nice to meet you. And they're like, I've met you 6 times. I'm like, I'm an asshole. That's so maybe I do, maybe I don't.
Yeah, I think he's a newer comic. I've seen him in a lot of pictures with Sally on Instagram. He does a 3 Comedy podcast.
Okay. I'll have to look him up.
Yeah. I know he's friends with Sally. I just didn't know if you guys, I don't know how the whole circle works. I just look at pictures on Instagram. I'm like, oh, okay, these people do this, and that's awesome.
You know, it's a pretty tight circle for as big as LA is. It's good. I feel like the comics here now, they weren't as receptive to me a year ago, but I feel in my time here that they have opened up their doors to me a little bit.
Isn't that how all comedy works? You have to kind of start off, and you have to really try.
Yeah. I think I've gained respect of enough people in the industry that the rest of them go, oh, well, you kind of got to respect her. You know, she's the... So it works out well. Word of mouth gets around. I'm not a shitty person. I think it works out for me. So.
Yeah, definitely not a shitty person. I'm so shy and unconfident. And let's say I actually got the nerve to write up jokes. There's no way I can get on stage and do it. And if I did do it and I bombed, I'm done. I am. Oh my God, done.
Bombing is the worst feeling, like possible. It is. And I mean, I'm disinvited from holidays at the moment, which is a pretty shitty feeling as well. But bombing on stage it is. Because you're your own worst enemy, you know? So, I mean, once I bomb on stage, that set will bother me and haunt me for like 3 weeks after that. I just repeat it in my head of where I failed, you know?
Trust me. I know exactly what you mean. I'll do that. I'll have a guest on and feel like it didn't go exactly the way I wanted it. Right. I'll go over in my head, like, was that weird? Did I fuck that up? Did I say dumb things? And
like you can fix it after it's done, which of course is not possible, but you know.
Yeah, I don't know. When I get so discouraged when things don't go wrong. But yeah, I'm so glad that you're doing this like dope ass comedy.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I try.
Yeah, I'll definitely be following. I'll be watching when you post stuff on. I'm subscribed on YouTube, so whenever new stuff goes on there.
Well, I will get some new stuff out. There's a great Ice House set that I just recently did that I know they taped, and I gotta get to them. I've reached out to them a few times, but I think I actually have to show up in person and be like, hey.
Yeah, that's the Ice House. They used to do like the Ice House Chronicles podcast over there.
Yeah, I've done. So I did Brian Redband's show over there. This was not this show, but a different show.
Yeah, Red Band. I listen to Red Band.
He does his podcast out of there, and I was on that as well. Actually, I just saw Red Band last night. Told him I wanted to be back on his show, which is honestly, I have since been in LA, never asked someone to be on their show until last night. I had a little bit of liquid courage in me, and Ron White and I were buddying up and having a great old time, and Brian Redband was right there, and I was like, you know what, Brian, I'd love to be on your show again. And he was like, all right, why don't you send me an email? And I was like, look at me making these connections.
But what Brian Redband do?
No, he was just like, yeah, shoot me an email, we'll do it again.
No, that's what his podcast is called.
What's that?
His podcast is called What Brian Redband Do.
Oh, is that what it's really called?
He might have multiple. He used to run so many.
A different one that I did. I can't remember the name of it, but I want to say it's not what it was, but I don't know. We ran it out of the Ice House. Like, all the comics would do their set, and then you would come in and do your, like, post-set interview.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's got a bunch of shit going. Like, I've listened to Joe Rogan for years. And like,
I love Rogan. That's another huge one of my idols, for sure, is Rogan, because he's also a no fucks given comic. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I've listened to his podcast for since I learned about podcasting. He was like one of the first ones.
Right. You know why I think I really respect those men as well is because I hear a lot in comedy, people say to me, you need to tone down your comedy. You need to tone it down and become more TV appropriate. And to that, I say, fuck you. I will never be a regular TV comic. That's just not my genre. I can't tune myself into comfortable for TV, you know? And I really respect those men for never doing that as well. They made their living off of being harsh, nasty comics, and that's where I want to keep my line, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I think comedy is comedy is art. You have to be yourself. Yeah. If you're trying to be something else, I mean, you might hit a couple of good jokes, but if you're not being yourself, it's not genuine.
Yeah, I'm never gonna feel being a clean comic for sure. I wouldn't be comfortable, you know.
You wouldn't feel comfortable being on like Full House.
God no. I mean, poor Bob Saget, but you know, look what it did for his career. Good for him. But yeah, even in his stand-up though, he would never do that. And now, can I recite lines that are, you know, if someone offered me a TV show and they were like, you can't say fuck, I'd be like, okay, I won't say fuck on the TV show, but come see my stand-up and it's going to be a whole nother world, you know?
You're like, well, how much is this paying? Is this worth me not saying fuck?
You're right.
Shit, I'm kind of open like that with the podcast. I feel like I need to be genuine and be myself on here. So I'm very open with a lot of my past. I've been through a lot of shit and I've never really kept things and tried to pretend like, oh, I'm Mr. Perfect and
no.
Horribly Perfect podcast.
Right. You're right. I really hate people who try to pretend that their life has been perfect. And I kind of hate the people whose life has been perfect. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Like, you lucky motherfucker.
But then I also kind of feel bad for them. Like, because if I didn't know the lows of actual lows, I would have never known the highs, you know? I grew up in a pretty, I wouldn't say like, I mean, there's definitely problems in my childhood, but pretty leave it to beaver for what the world is, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you get out into the real world and you're like, oh shit, like these bills come every month repeatedly and I don't know where I'm going to find money tomorrow, you know? So it's like the ability to like feed myself got very real when I moved to LA. I've actually been homeless, for 4 months of my LA life. Not homeless streets homeless, but homeless like hotel homeless.
Yeah, that's rough. LA is rough. I mean, it's expensive.
Well, the problem is that I kind of ruined my credit in my 20s. And so trying to get an apartment out here is like the hardest thing ever. I'm like, just trust me. And they're like, your credit score is a 500. No one trusts you.
Oh, I did that. I'm 18. I got credit cards. Let me buy all the cool shit. And all of a sudden I'm bankrupt. I had to go file for bankruptcy. Damn it.
Yeah, bankruptcy is, I don't think I'm anywhere near it because the things that I actually am in debt for, I don't think they'll take away. But,
oh, you'd be surprised.
Student loans though? That's like my number one. Student loans and medical bills. Of course, my dad's calling right now.
Hey, Dad. Bring your dad on the podcast. Let's get him on here.
Actually, hold on one second. Let me just tell him I'm on here.
Yeah, sure.
Hello? Hey, Dad. I'm actually recording a podcast right now. Can I call you back when I'm done? Okay. All right. Love you. Bye. Super close to my dad, by the way. He's my best friend.
Oh, that's awesome. Does he watch your comedy?
Yeah, he has seen my comedy live. He has seen all my YouTube stuff. He thinks I'm hysterical. My dad is literally like my number one fan. Even with the porn. And I don't think that's weird. I try to tell people all the time because, like, you know, my dad will tell people I have a movie on HBO or whatever. And I'm like, Dad, you're promoting my porn. He was like, what? Everyone has sex. I'm like, no, you're totally right. And that's my point of view on it as well. But it's nice to have a parent think that, you know? So.
Yeah, my mom would never say, check out my son's podcast.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
And my dad promotes my comedy like crazy too. And I used to do a really awful joke about my dad, and I don't do it any longer. But I used to do a horrible, untrue joke about my dad doing cocaine off my tits, which has never happened. But my dad thought it was the funniest joke in the world, I think just because it was about him. So when I would go back home, he'd be like, tell the joke about me. I'm like, Dad, it put you in the worst light humanly possible. And it's not true. And he's like, yeah, but it's funny. Tell the story.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's in one of those videos on YouTube. I remember that joke.
Yeah, totally not true, by the way.
Yeah, that's comedies. I have so much respect for comedians because it's like, here's me, here's some jokes I wrote. I'm going to deliver it. I know you got to work through the jokes over time.
Right. You know, what's funny though is I did used to do a lot more untrue comedy just to get the joke. But I took that joke out and I took a few others out that just weren't true. And now I feel like I've kind of directed my comedy 100% truth. And that way there's really, cause I just don't ever want anyone to think I'm hiding as a character. Silvia Saige is a character, but she is 100% true to who I am. So, and I like to stick with that. So now I do a new joke. It's about not having daddy issues, it's about having mommy issues, which is totally true in my life as well.
I think we all have mommy issues in a way.
Great lady, but just we are not on the same level. I'll just put it that way.
So you don't have to say your actual name, but how close is Silvia Saige to your actual name?
Not even close. And actually, I don't mind saying my real name. I said it on a million things. You can find it on the internet anywhere. My real name is Kristen. So
Kristen. Hello, Kristen. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
So how'd you come up with Silvia Saige?
I did not, actually. So long story short, I'm going to just zip this in. When I first moved to LA, it was just to pursue stand-up. But a week before I moved out here, I got a DUI in Kansas, where I'm from. And so I didn't have a job out here. I had just saved up like 16 grand. And I was like, yeah, 16 grand. I'm going to move to LA. I had an apartment. And then I got a DUI, and there went 12,000 of my 16,000.
Oh, damn.
So I moved to LA with like next to no money and no job and a very expensive apartment. So I was struggling really bad. And then a girlfriend of mine from Kansas City came out, and she stayed with me for like 2 or 3 weeks. And she was doing porn. And she had been wanting to do porn forever. I've known this girl for a few years prior to this, and that was always something she talked about. And I saw her make about 7 grand in a week, and then I looked at my checkbook, and I was like, yeah, so I'm going to do some porn, because it's the only way I'm going to be able to keep a roof over my head. So yeah, I just changed everything into Silvia and ran with it. I don't know where the point to that story was.
No, it's a good story though.
That. So yeah, that's where was the point of that story? What was the actual question?
Oh, I was asking how you got the name Silvia Saige.
Yeah. Oh, that's how. Well, I joined. I started doing porn with her, and I went into the office. I'd signed with a agency or whatever, and the agent says, "What do you want your name to be?" And I was like, "Well, up until today, I had never thought about doing porn, so I have no idea." So he actually came up with the name Silvia Saige, not me.
Ah, it's a good name. It's got a ring to it.
Yeah, a little catchy. It's funny because I don't always tell people right away that I do porn. I always lead with stand-up comic because I don't never know what people can handle, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I was in an Uber the other day, and the guy says, I'm talking about my stand-up career, and he said, I'd love to come see you sometime. What's your name? And I said, Silvia Saige. And he goes, well, I hate to sound crass or anything, but that sounds like a porn star name. And I was like, well, sir, that's because it is a porn star name. He did not come see my comedy show. So.
Oh, what a dick.
I think he was a little bit more reserved than I don't think he was ready to hear the actual porn star side of that. So, but welcome to LA, what are you doing here?
There's a lot of people who are really prude. All guys watch porn. It's just,
right.
Unless you're heavily religious, maybe you sneak it in there.
Even then, they're still watching it.
But it's a taboo thing. It's a little strange. I mean, I could tell you the truth right now. Is the first time I've ever talked to a porn star or adult film actress. Period.
Right. Yeah.
So this is the first.
Well, see, we're still people, though. See?
Yeah. Yeah, we learn about shit stories.
I will tell you, not all of them are great people. I have, in my 2 years, I've met some really shitty souls. But all in all, I'd say about 90% of them are excellent people and really good business people. You have to be business-minded if you're going to make it in either one of these fields, to be honest with you. So I am not business-minded, which is why I had been homeless for 4 months out of my 2 years. But I work really hard. So.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I struggle a little bit. I don't struggle to pay the bills, but I'm not like well off where I could just go, let me take a month off. No.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, see, that's the problem is my life is time off, I work very little. I work, evenings doing stand-up gigs, but that's even, 3 to 5 nights a week, depending on what, kind of week my bookings are. But I do travel a lot, and I travel on my own expense, which is nice. That's all I've ever wanted to do, really, is travel the world. So I'm just hoping that comedy will take me around the world, and someone will pay me to be there. That's the dream, I guess.
Just takes a little bit of time. I mean, you're doing good. From what I've seen, you don't have a lot of stuff I could watch, but from what I've seen, you're on a good start. I mean,
yeah, no, it's a great start. 2 years in LA, I came from being an open mic comic to a headliner, so I'm very, very proud of that. So,
how's it like to headline? You have a bunch of people opening up for you.
Yeah, it's awesome. It feels really, really awesome. I will tell you that. I've never. I think headlining, you have the most amount of confidence. I don't ever feel scared when I'm headlining because I know I'm just going to go up there and rock it. I think I'm more scared to host a show because I'm always going to fuck up somebody's name,
Oh, yeah. I always fuck up people's names.
Comics have these crazy-ass names. I'm like, shorten it to Hollywood standards. Please. Like, this is so tough for me. Always have to asking people how to pronounce their names, and I ask them right before I walk up on stage and I still fuck it up. I'm not a good host. No one should have me host.
Do you get to hang out with a lot of comics, like outside of doing the actual gigs?
Yeah. I have, honestly, all of my friends outside of, all my friends are comics. I feel like I don't really know any other normal people. The girl who got me into porn, she's the only other porn star I actually hang out with. Everyone else I know is comics, and they're really good people. We're all just, live in our own little fucked up world. So I think to be a comic, you really can only have comic friends because they're the only people who understand you.
Yeah.
So
I totally get that. I would be the person to have comic friends. Like my comedy a lot of the times is like, I tone it down a little bit on the podcast, but I mean, I say the most rudest, crudest shit. And when I go to work and I see people for like a half hour before we start a shift and everyone's there, we're all guys, and I just say the craziest shit just to get a rise out of them, just to get something out of them.
Right.
And sometimes they know it's me. They know I'm about to say some stupid shit. So if I say anything, they don't take it serious.
How does that turn out for you?
It's fun. I love it. I go in and do a bunch of gay jokes, and then they look at me like, oh, of course, he's going with that one again. It's always about the dick jokes and the ball scratching and the assholes. And then we go to work, and we all separate, go solo and work, and we don't see each other till the next day.
Great. Assholes are funny, People try to steer away from it. I just dig right in. Like, I think assholes are hilarious. I just think everyone is so, like, ashamed. I love it. Like, my brother and his wife have been married for 5 years, and they still have never seen each other poop. Like, they have, like, separate bathrooms. And
what? Separate bathrooms?
Yeah, well, they sleep in separate rooms because my brother snores.
Oh.
Yeah, so they have separate bathrooms. They've never seen each other poop. They don't talk about it. And I'm like, what? Like, my ex and I, like, someone would be shitting while the other one was brushing their teeth. Like, it's just a natural part of life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why people get their panties in such a bunch over this. It's crazy. It's hilarious to me. It's hilarious to me that things that make people uncomfortable. I just don't get it.
I guess it all depends on what.
Make me uncomfortable.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what kind of shit you're taking. Every once in a while, you might have to evacuate the bathroom.
Well, yeah, no. If it's like, you know, Mexican, you know, like just a bad day, I'm like, leave the room, turn on the TV. I don't want you to be a part of this. Yeah, there's that. But, you know, just normal waking up, you know, that's a pretty quick release anyway. I'm going to be done before you're done brushing your teeth. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, that's awesome. I need that kind of relationship. It's all for me.
Right? I think everyone does.
So when you went into, I don't know how comfortable you feel talking about your film.
Oh, totally. Hey, I got nothing to hide. So.
Okay. I'm just making sure. So when you went in there for like the first time to do that, to go talk to somebody, I mean, was that a scary situation? I imagine it to be a little frightening.
You know, I am so lucky because it was not for me. Like I said, my girlfriend had been doing it for about a week or two, maybe, before I got in. And my very first porn scene was with her. So, and she went in with me to the office. I mean, none of this I did on my own. And I'm like 10 years her senior, by the way, but we're the best of friends. And she walked me through the whole process. And like I said, even with my first porn. So there was never a scary moment for me. And I also got in at the age of 30. And, you know, I'm not incredibly well educated. I didn't go to Duke or anything like that, but I am the first person in my family to have a college degree, you know. Nice. So I worked in corporate America for 8 years. I didn't come in as a dummy, you know. So kind of had my head on straight, and I'm a very don't fuck with me personality. Now I'm sweet as pie until you fuck with me, and then I will destroy your life.
Okay, so. I'm going through ideas in my head, and I'm dancing around certain words now. I don't want to get on that list.
Don't dance. You don't have to dance. It's okay. But,
I don't want to get on the shit list, the Silvia shit list.
Yeah. It's a matter of like fucking with my money, I think. When people try to fuck with my money, I'm like, I'll kill you. So. Yeah,
that's the worst. That's when it gets personal. That's why it's hard to loan. It's hard to loan like a friend money. It's like, can I borrow $20? You're like, well, you know, I'd rather just give you $20 that way.
Right. I was going to say, I don't even borrow with friends. Like, if I'm going to give you something, I'm going to give it to you and I will never expect it back. Like, that's just it. If I can't part with it, you can't have it, you know?
If I can't part with it, you can't have it.
Yeah. And at that point, there's money between friends and you never know. Like, all of my closest friends, when I have money, I buy. When they have money, they buy. And we're all very... You know, no one is keeping tabs. Let's just put it that way. So, and I think that's the way it should be.
Yeah, those are good relationships.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's all just I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird when when money comes into it, it just gets weird. So it's like let me treat you to the movies. I don't want to loan you money or give let me just treat you to the movies or to eat some food.
Right. Exactly. And I feel like it's the same way with my good group of friends, because we all kind of have similar careers. Money is very up and down, especially out here in LA, you know? So, you know, I can have a $10,000 week and then I'll have a $2,000 month, you know? Like, you got to really scrape and get by. So, and I'm not great with funds. Let's just put it that way. So.
Yeah, I'm kind of good at saving money, but every once in a while I just got to splurge. Like, I want that and I'm not patient, so I just buy it, you know?
Oh, no. I am 32 years old and I don't have a savings account. Like, I'm the worst. But I'm also the person who buys people vacations. Like, I just bought my mom and her husband a vacation to Hawaii. Like, bought my dad and his girlfriend vacation out here to see me. Do you notice that I send my mom far, far away to me?
Well, you know what? Since we're friends now, I've always wanted to go to Hawaii. I was just wondering... if you could send me to Hawaii, Silvia.
Yeah, right. It's not in the cards at this moment in time, but who knows?
Yeah, I live in Fresno now, so I'm not far from you, but I
Okay.
grew up in the Bay Area, Santa Clara.
Yeah. Oh, very nice. That's actually where the girl who got me. I keep calling her the girl who got me into porn. It's Kylie Calvetti is her name, and she's from the Bay Area as well. So that's where she was born, and then we met each other in Kansas City, which is where I am from. So bartended together for years. But
Oh, bartending. That's another fun. You've done all kinds of fun shit.
I'm telling you, I have done every job. I have worked in the medical field, in cardiology, chiropractic. I worked at gas stations. I was a bartender off and on. God, what else have I done? Some just really random shit. Oh, I was a barista. I worked in clothing stores.
Oh, making coffee, huh? I bet you when you're working a bartender, it's like nothing but dudes hitting on you, right?
Oh, especially in the bars I worked at. Yeah. I worked in very sex positive bars. Have you ever heard of Twin Peaks?
No.
Okay. Well, you should look it up. I was like the head bartender for Twin Peaks in Kansas. So, yeah. It's and I worked at Hooters. It's very Hooter-esque.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's based on hiring hot women to wear not a lot of things.
Oh,
So,
yeah, that's what us guys like.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was great. I loved working there. What was funny though is when I left for California, they were like, "We'll always keep you on the roster if you ever want a job." And then they found out I was doing porn, and they were like, "You can never come back."
Oh no, really?
Oh yeah, it's so taboo because I'm from the Midwest, you know. So it's a very like when people found out I was doing porn, it was like, you know, I couldn't have done anything worse. It was like I was finding all of their children and slaughtering them, you know?
Yeah, what the fuck? I guess I've never really been there. I mean, I really haven't left California much. I mean, I've been to New York and Connecticut very briefly for a weekend.
That's the best. Just stay on the coastal states. That's what I recommend.
Yeah, everyone's pretty much open with stuff around here. I guess LA is like the most open about everything almost.
Yeah, LA is the most forgiving, which is why I love it. It's why I've never felt more at home, I guess. So
yeah, I would love to get out to LA and just watch some comedy and stuff. I don't know. I don't do it. I don't drive a lot. I can't drive by myself because I have sleep apnea, so I get tired when I drive.
Oh my God, that's awesome. So are you allowed to have a driver's license?
Yeah, I have it. I don't.
Go ahead.
No, nobody knows I have sleep apnea. I mean, I've been to doctors, but I can function perfectly fine. But if I go on the freeway and I'm driving, like,
right.
First thing in my mind's like, I don't want to do this. I'm gonna get tired.
Yeah. No, my cousin has narcolepsy. What's it called? Napolepsy? Narcolepsy?
I think it's
where you fall asleep.
Yeah, it's one of those.
So he has that, and he's not allowed to have a driver's license because of that. Because he could literally just fall asleep and kill everyone. So
That's scary. I've done that.
Yeah, like the sleep apnea. You've fallen asleep while driving?
I didn't kill anybody, but
Oh my God, that's terrifying.
yeah, I was driving with my cousin down Highway 152 between Fresno and Los Banos, and let's say the road turns and I didn't.
Oh my God.
Luckily, it was nothing but it was kind of a ditch. It kind of dropped down a little bit. It was nothing but grass there. There was no fence. There was no trees.
God. That's awesome. Was he awake? Did he know?
He woke up.
Oh God.
Dude, did you fall asleep? I'm like, oh shit, yeah, man.
Oh no.
Yeah, I did it. And then we got back on the road, and then
At least you were both okay, and your car was okay. That could have gone so very wrong for you.
Yeah, that's why I don't do too many trips. Like, there's a lot of stuff I love to go do in LA. I don't have a lot of friends around here who are just like, let's go to LA and do a road trip.
You could always just take a train or a bus or whatever. I have Greyhounded. Oh, I've done it all.
Yeah. Oh, Greyhound. I bet you meet all kinds of interesting people.
Oh, certainly. All sorts of interesting characters. I actually had to Greyhound from Vegas to LA one time. It was very interesting.
That's from Vegas to LA. From Vegas to LA. Yeah.
Yeah, on a Greyhound. Yeah.
So a bunch of people are traveling who just lost a bunch of money.
Yeah, right?
They're all angry and shit. Yeah, I don't... you gamble?
Oh, yeah. I shouldn't, but I do. It's not good for me. It's never been a good thing. I've had like a good night of gambling, and every other time it's just been piss poor. So.
What kind of gambling do you like to do?
I sit at blackjack tables.
That's
for
fun.
Hours upon hours.
Yeah, that stuff's fun. I don't like to lose money, so I look at it like if I go to the casino, I gotta bring like whatever money I plan to lose. And let's say I win. One time I won 900 and something on a slot machine, like a dollar slot machine, and then I lost 100 of it, and I was pissed off that I lost 100.
Right. Right. Even though you're still up.
Yeah, I was still up $800, and I'm like, oh fuck, $100. Like, wow, I could have spent it on something.
Right.
Yeah, I live in Fresno. It's like people live, it's cheap to live here, but it also not a lot of money to make.
Right.
Yeah, which is it sucks.
Is there gambling in Fresno?
There's there's a place close by, a little casino that's like right down the street, really, but it's only cards, so they have blackjack and Texas Hold'em. But if you go up the mountain, which is about 30 minutes, there's an Indian casino.
See, I guess I just don't ever think about gambling anywhere other than Vegas. Like, I don't even know if there's gambling here in LA. I'm sure there is. I just wouldn't even know where to find it if there were.
Yeah, there would probably be like a card place, maybe. But you don't want that though. I don't
want to seek it out. That's for sure.
You just don't want to know it's close by because then you're like, I'm bored right now. Oh, let's go back to the casino.
I actually have to go to Vegas next week for a day. I'm literally going for one night to surprise a girlfriend. Actually, Kylie Calvetti is the one I'm surprising. How funny. So going out there for one night just to go to dinner with her. She doesn't know it yet. But I'm just trying to pace myself now to stay away from the tables. So we'll see.
Sometimes it's fun, though. Sometimes it's fun.
It's the alcohol that pumps through, and then you have to walk by all these people having fun, and you're like, I want to have fun with these people.
See, that's what I haven't done. I haven't drank alcohol and gambled. Like the Indian casino, you can't drink in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's...
Oh, God. That's why you can win there. Because in Vegas, you drink for free at the tables. Yeah. That's the problem.
Yeah, so you go, they get you.
I'll just sit there forever. I'll walk down with, $300 and just play blackjack for 6 hours.
You're like, fuck it, split. Like, ma'am, you have a 3 and a 7.
Yeah, right.
Split it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, I like doing blackjack. But it's something about those electronic slot machines that are fun when they start making all the colors pop out and it's like a video game.
See, I just can't. I can't get involved in those. I've never had a draw to them. I like the people. I think because I walk around a casino looking for the people I want to play with as opposed to anything else. Like, I'll just walk around blackjack tables until I find people that look like fun. And then I'm like, okay, these are the people I want to play with. Because I will gamble by myself, by the way, if that's not a gambling enough addiction. I will go to a blackjack table by myself all day long. So.
Well, that's a good thing because it sucks when you go gambling with somebody because somebody's going to lose money first and have to just follow you around or you follow them around.
Exactly. And then they're miserable. They're like, can we go? I'm like, no, I'm having a good time. Go away.
All of a sudden I'm having memories of clothes shopping with my mom as a kid.
Oh, geez.
I'm just, let me play with the hangers and climb between the clothes.
Yes. Kids should never go shopping, by the way.
Yeah, never. Ever.
I don't know if you have children. I have a lot of nieces and nephews, but I just don't feel a need for children in public is my problem.
I have no kids that I'm aware of.
Okay, well, that's good. None I'm aware of either. No, my 20s are a pretty big blur, though, so it's a possibility.
Oh, my 20s are non-existent. Really, I disappeared off the face of the earth, and I was caught in a bad cycle of addiction, and I lost a lot of brain cells. But I came back, and like you were saying earlier about you have to see the bottom to know the highs, and that's where I came from, and that shit scares me so much that I stay away from a lot of stuff, and I get most of my pleasure from doing like podcasts and video games.
That's good though. Whatever brings you pleasure without destroying your life at the same time. So I've struggled with addiction as well. So still addicted to weed, which I don't feel like is an addiction, and definitely still have alcohol very prevalent in my life. But both things I think I function very highly at. So
yeah, I drink alcohol. on my nights off on the weekend. I can't drink on a work night because I work graveyard, so that would be fucked up.
Right.
As far as weed, I didn't smoke weed for 9 years, and I've always, like, I listen to Joe Rogan. He's a big advocate for marijuana and all the positive things. So when it became legal just recently,
Yes.
I tried it, and I was reminded why it wasn't for me.
Oh, really?
What happens is I'll smoke a little bit, and then I become, I don't know if I become ashamed. I feel like pain, like I focus on every bit of pain in my body at the same time, and I feel crippled.
That's crazy, because I feel like weed is supposed to have the complete opposite effect, that you're just supposed to be like totally uninhabited and like no issues.
Yeah, but it kind of, I don't know, it's an eye opener for me. I realized everything at once, and I get into this dark hole, and I tried it 3 weekends in a row, and I got the same effect every time. So
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry weed is no good for you. It is honestly, well, I'm extremely type A personality. Even though I don't have a job, I'm still up at 7 o'clock every morning. I go to the gym, I run errands. I keep myself busy doing absolutely nothing. But I'm like one of those people who is like, well, if I don't get to do my laundry by noon, then I'm not going to have enough time to whatever, go get a pedicure or whatever it is. I have the stupidest things in my schedule. But I make myself so busy. And I think if I didn't have weed to unwind, I would probably never sleep, because I would just always feel like I had to do something.
Yeah. I'm an overthinker, though. My anxiety is always at like a 10.
Yeah. That's why weed should be great for you.
Yeah, you would think, but I don't know what it is. It just puts me in this downward spiral, and I'm like, oh, I swear to God, last weekend or the weekend before, I quit the podcast. When I got high, I sent a message to this guy I was supposed to do the podcast with. The next thing, I can't do this. I'm going to take a hiatus for a while. And I felt like I was a faker.
Oh my God, that is so funny.
I need to make that into a bit.
That's so sad, you poor thing.
I did. I quit. I was like, I'm not doing the podcast for a while. It's like I'm like bugging people for asking them to come and do interviews. And it's, since my podcast is guest driven, and I need someone every week, and I was like, this is too much. This is too much. And then I woke up the next day, I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Oh my God, that's so crazy.
And that happened 3 weekends in a row.
Wow. That's insane. You poor thing. I'm so sad for you right now.
I know, yeah. I should probably
You enjoy weed as much as I enjoy weed. That's what's so...
I think it might have a little to do with my schedule, because I wake up midday and then I stay up all night. And if I smoke weed and I'm up alone at night...
I can see that. Bad combination.
And then maybe I should...
You're single, right? So you live alone?
Yeah, so I'm just like here, like dreading, like, oh my God, am I having a heart attack?
Right.
Okay. I know they say that no one's died from weed. I know they say that you freak out a little bit, but is this one of those cases that's not true?
Oh my God. You need someone there with you, coaching you through your high is what you need.
I know that. I was like,
I will come and coach you through your high if you really want that. I just recently made a friend of mine smoke weed for the first time in his life. A 45-year-old man. He had never smoked weed, and I was smoking, and he was like, I think I'm ready. I think I want to try. And he's never even had a cigarette in his life. This man is like straight arrow as arrows get. And I had to teach him how to inhale. So trust me, I'm there if you need someone to help you get through smoking.
We need to do a podcast then where I do it on the podcast and freak the fuck out.
Oh, perfect. But then your podcast is going to be 3 hours, because I will forget what the fuck we're talking about on a very consistent basis. But
so would you suggest I try edibles?
Actually, edibles are harder for me just because it's a different kind of high. I will eat edibles just because I'm a pothead. But they're not my favorite. I'm a very old school smoker, and I think a lot of people in our age bracket. I don't know how old you are. I'm guessing.
I'm 36.
Okay, I'm almost 33. So yeah, I think it's people in our age bracket that have actually smoked a lot of weed in our times. Because I'm gonna be old on you real quick. But nowadays, these kids are doing dabs. And have you dabs? Okay, so it's like 10 times more potent than actual weed. I've done it one time in my life, and I was crawling on the floor because I couldn't figure out if I was on the floor or the ceiling, and I definitely couldn't stand up. It wasn't okay. Like I don't understand how they do this. So for me, I'm like old school, smokable, smoke a joint. The edibles are a different kind of high. They're like a body high. And then dabs are a whole new world I want nothing to do with.
Yeah, that sounds scary. Everyone's always trying to up the fillings, man. Let's crank this to a 15.
Yes. I just like the relaxed feeling of weed. That's all I really like. So
I just love weed in general as a plant. Smells good, looks awesome.
It does. It's so pretty. It's full of crystals and gorgeous.
Yeah, now I can grow it. I might just grow a plant in the house just so I could have it in the apartment. Yeah.
And then that way when I come over, I'll smoke it. Perfect.
Yeah, come over, I'll just give it to you. You ever roll through Fresno, I'll just give it to you.
That's going to be my present for coming to Fresno or wherever the hell you live.
Here's a plant. Take it. Yeah, I don't know. The edibles thing, I've never tried that. So, I mean, if maybe it took like gummy bears and ate one gummy bear and just chill. I just want to chill. At nighttime, my mind goes 100 miles per hour.
Yeah, you'd probably be okay with that.
I want to slow that down. I want to be able to watch one TV show without looking on Twitter 15 times.
Yeah, well, weed will definitely be able to do that for you. Now, it can't have commercials because if commercials come on, you'll forget what you're watching.
That's right.
That's the problem. But if you're watching a show and it doesn't have commercials, oh, you can like totally zone in.
I don't do commercials. Fuck commercials. I will not do it. I will download torrents to not have commercials.
Yeah, commercials are the worst.
I can't stand it. It's stupid. You're like, oh, this is cool. Walking Dead, something cool's happening. Oh, wait, Downy commercial.
But I would totally be a commercial actor. Those people get paid. There's some really good money in commercial acting.
For like 30 minutes of work, huh? You just go in and...
Yeah, and they get like 10 grand for a commercial. And they make money off of residuals. That's insane.
Oh, I'm going to do it. I don't have a face for commercials, but let's see, I can get some plastic surgery done.
Right? Like, shit, I really got to get into mainstream. That's my issue.
I need to get in one of those animal shelter commercials. Those real sad ones.
Those are the worst. I can't. I love animals, but I just can't watch those commercials. Like, I can't even go to a shelter. I feel like if I went to a shelter, I would adopt every animal there and then never be able to take care of it. And they would be in worse shape than they were at the shelter.
Oh, it's such a sad experience. It's like all these sad animals and I have to choose one. Like I'm choosing you. Oh, all the other animals, watch this one, leave with me.
I know. I know. So sad. It's so sad.
Yeah, it's like my grandma has a dog she adopted kind of from the neighbors, but you could tell the dog had been abused because he's really scared of people and
timid, yeah.
Really barky now. But now I've kind of warmed up to where I can kind of pet him. Once I pet him, he'll kind of stop. And I don't know if it's because he's scared I'm gonna break his neck or something. He kind of like stiffens up. But I'll pet him and he'll just be looking around, his eyeballs wide open.
Oh, poor thing. Poor thing, because he had to live his life like fearing everything. That's what's horrific about it.
He's a very little chubby dog. My grandma loves him with food.
Oh, good.
He looks like a seal.
I like it when people love me with food as well.
I know. I used to think the same thing. I used to be 300 pounds.
Oh my God, seriously?
Yeah, 2012, my resolution was to change that, and I lost 120 pounds.
Oh, that's awesome. Congrats to you. That's amazing.
Yep. So it's the hardest thing is to eat food and not eat all the food I actually want to eat.
Yeah, right? Small amounts.
Not even small amounts. It's like I better eat once real quick a lot so I get so full I don't want no more food.
No. You have to eat small amounts all day.
All day?
Yeah. I eat like every 4 hours. I'm constantly eating.
Oh, okay. I'm
also a crazy gym rat as well, so that's probably got something to do with it.
Yeah, I need to get in the gym scene.
Yeah.
I'll watch a YouTube video and do some workouts for like 5 minutes. I'm like, I'm tired.
I'm so over it.
But if I don't even have the YouTube video, I can't even do the stuff. I'm not motivated. I'll stop.
Right? Right.
At least I'm like, okay, this video is 10 minutes long. I have to get through the 10 minutes.
That's why I have to go to the gym, because I feel like other people watching me motivates me. Like, those people don't have any idea how long I've been in the gym, but to me, they all know. They're all watching my sets. They all know how many reps I've done. Like, in my head, I'm like, they know. If you don't do this, you're gonna look like a pussy. Keep going.
Yeah, I know you can't grunt though. Aren't they against that?
Grunting is frowned upon, but it happens.
You just want to do it like, fuck you guys.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna grunt. I want everyone to know that I'm lifting 50 pounds.
Really, really hard.
Oh shit! Let's do some shout outs and then come back. I'll do a couple questions and then we'll wrap it up.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, let's do some shout outs.
Yeah, it's party time, people. I'm gonna shout it out. Tell my friends what it's all about. Making love in the streets and between the sheets. Gonna shout them homies out. It's the Horribly Awkward Podcast. It's a shout out segment of the show. So shout out the people you know. Let's make love grow on the Horribly Awkward Show.
Big shout out to Kritzia Bajos for coming and hanging out last week. That was like a lot of fun. I had a great time talking to her. If you guys missed out, voice actress, super fun, super cool. Almost as great as this interview I'm on right now. Yeah, Kritzia is awesome. Follow her and listen to that podcast and check out all the games and commercials that she's been in and stuff. It's always fun. Also, big shout out to Matt McDonough from the Passers By podcast, because he did that super fucked up hot wing challenge where it brings snot out your nose because you eat stuff you're not supposed to eat, and the donations went to good charity. So big shout out to you, Matt. That was awesome. What about you, Sylvia?
Yikes. I just want to meet Matt at this point. I don't want to eat anything hot enough to have to blow snot out of my nose.
You want to meet Matt?
But I want to meet Matt. That sounds great.
Oh,
yeah.
Matt does a Passers By podcast where it's a short, like 30-minute podcast. You just come on and tell one great story, and that's it. Let me know, I'll get you on that.
Okay, yeah, let's totally hook that up. I guess I'm just going to give a shout out to Sally Mullins, because we've been talking about her and what a great teacher she is. Totally uninhibited, and I love that about her. And shout out to Kylie Calvetti, who I've also chatted about in this podcast, and for getting me into this world and opening my eyes to all new things. So,
yeah, big shout outs to them too. I'm gonna have to watch more of Sally's stuff, because now I know what it's actually about.
Yeah,
I'm fucking on board.
Yeah, totally crazy. I love it.
Yeah, I'm totally on board. I'm into all the obscure, interesting, creative things.
Yeah, totally.
And I seen you were in one of her videos. I think that's exactly where I followed you.
Yeah, I did a spanking video last week. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
My ass is still bruised. It's crazy. Yeah.
Spanking videos. See, you guys are missing out on spanking videos. Follow Sylvia and Sally Mullins.
Yes.
Which I believe she's on Instagram. It's like at Sally Mullins, right?
Yeah, I think it's Sally818, which is so funny about Sally is she has a tattoo of 818 right above her vagina. How classy is that?
That's classy. I've never seen that.
I have a tattoo of cherries right above my vagina. So we are right along the same class level.
Was that your first tattoo?
It was my second tattoo. You know, what's funny is I did mention how my dad is, one of my best friends. I got my cherries tattoo when I was 18, and my dad made the joke at a dinner table full of my family and said, "We should really go put in memory around your cherries." And I was like, oh, God. Thanks, Dad. Thanks for that.
Here's a little secret. I've never told anybody. I have cherries on my lower back.
No, you don't.
I know I don't. That would be fun.
Oh my God, that's amazing. That would maybe be the worst decision.
That would definitely be the worst decision. I'd rather go back through addiction and all that shit
than put a cherry tattoo on your back.
I got one little tattoo on my leg when I was 18. It says Sean Lee in Japanese. I hope that's what it says.
Hope that's what it says, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I never really got back into tattooing, and I've always been a big fan of art, and I don't know.
Yeah, I did one tattoo at 17 on my back and then another at 18 on my front, and no more ever again. And if I could reverse them, actually, you know what? I would not reverse the cherries. I think they're kind of cute. But I would, however, erase the horrible tribal tattoo I have on my back.
Oh, is it terrible?
Oh, it's pretty bad. Well, it's crooked. So, but it's small, so it's not like hugely awful. But I just, if I could have it gone, I would have it gone for sure.
Yeah, some tribal tattoos look great, and then some of them look really tacky. It's kind of hit or miss.
Yeah, but it was like super like late 90s, early 2000s tribal,
Oh yeah, you're just barely a dollar. Like, put it on.
What I want. Yeah.
Yeah, give it to me. That's what I was like. I'm 18 now. Tattoo some shit on me. What? Let me look at your wall. Yeah, I want that.
Yeah, that's why they shouldn't make things illegal. Is my. I think I just wanted to like be a bad person,
Yeah. That's you get it like that rebel. You're like, I'm a rebel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I did that when I was 16 or 17 with piercings. Got my tongue pierced, and my parents. I don't know if you've had your tongue pierced.
No, I did the navel piercing for like a week. Super infected.
But your tongue gets like super swollen. I'm like trying to talk to him, and my stepdad's like, right? "What's that in your mouth?" I was like,
"Wait, were you trying to hide your piercing from them?"
Yeah, because they were really against me doing shit, especially when I was younger.
Right.
And my stepdad's like, "If I find out that's a piercing in your mouth, I'm gonna rip that motherfucker out of your tongue." And when they found out, it wasn't that bad. They were just trying to be show me who the boss was.
Right. No ripping actually took place, which is good.
Yeah, it was the same with pagers when I first got a pager. Like, pagers are only for drug dealers. And then...
I love that you had a pager. That's amazing. My brother had a pager. I would have been in the pager line, but my dad worked for the phone company. So I actually was like one of the very first people to have a cell phone. I had a cell phone at 15. I was like the coolest kid ever.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you were.
Yeah, totally.
Like, I can make phone calls from anywhere. I thought it was fucking cool when I had my own phone line in my room when I was a teenager, and I was paying for that. I thought that was cool. I didn't even
have that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, except for when it's ringing off the hook for hours. My mom's like, put that thing on mute.
No, but I had the Nokia. Do you remember the big Nokia, like really thick phones?
Yeah, with Snake on it.
Yeah. Yes. That's amazing.
That stupid game. You're like, just control the snake and see how far you can go.
Right?
Yeah, but what I was trying to say is I lost my pager at one point, and my mom bought me another one. She's like, oh, yeah, I can actually get a hold of you when you're not around.
Yeah, with your pager?
Yeah, so it went from like drug dealers only need those until you need a pager.
Right?
Yeah, shout out to my mom. My mom's awesome.
Good shout out to your mom. And shout out to my dad. He's awesome.
Yeah, shout out to your dad. He is awesome. He sounds like the coolest dude. You should have brought him with you. Got him on another Skype call.
Right? I know.
Yeah, later date. Later date. Sylvia's dad. You are Christine, right?
Kristen, yeah.
Kristen's dad. You're coming on. We're going to hang out. You sound like the coolest dude ever.
He really is.
Okay, I'll run over a couple of these little questions here, and then we'll wrap it up.
Cool.
Who is your celebrity crush?
God, I don't even think I have a celebrity crush. Maybe, I don't know. I'd really like to fuck Anthony Jeselnik, I guess.
Yeah.
Icon.
I think I might too, and I'm not gay at all.
Right.
That's great. Mine's Kristen Wiig. Oh, I love her.
Oh my God, I love Kristen Wiig. She's great too. Yeah, but I don't like women, so.
I do.
Yeah, good for you. That's good.
Kristen Wiig. Okay, what was your very first actual paying job? I think you said maybe.
Actually, yeah, I worked. Wow, that's tough because I babysat. So I babysat growing up, but then as like a teenager, my very first job was at a 5, 7, and 9 clothing store.
5, 7. What does 5, 7, and 9 stand for? Like size?
Sizes, yeah. So it didn't go above a 9. So we had like double zeros, but you didn't go above a 9. It was like fashion for skinny poor people because it was super trashy clothes as well. Like looking back, it's like I would never in a million years shop at a 5, 7, and 9. But it's just cheap clothes for teenage girls. Basically.
Yeah, retail. I think we all start in retail. I started like Baskin Robbins and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
So let's see. If you could time travel once, you have a round trip ticket. You can go anywhere, anytime, in anywhere, and anytime in history. Where would you go?
Wow, that is a big question. I don't know. I think I'd be a '60s kid, honestly. I really appreciate the 60s. I kind of feel like I'm battling in the 60s right now because I take a lot of rights for women's rights and gays' rights and Muslims' rights and immigrants' rights. And I kind of feel like I'm fighting the fight. But I would have liked to have done it in the 60s when everyone was kind of fighting the same fight and there was a lot more drugs involved. So.
A lot more drugs. Yeah, go for one day, have a crazy fucking time, and then time travel back.
Right, exactly.
bump into your parents and go, fuck, oh no, the time continuum is ruined.
Yeah, right.
You're like, hi, Dad. Wait, hi, young dad.
I wouldn't have even recognized my dad. Like, looking at pictures back in the day, like, my mom still looks the same, but my dad, not at all. Like, he was such a different character back in the day.
Okay, what's the first thing that pops in your mind when I say horribly awkward podcast?
Oh, man. So I thought it was going to be a little bit dirtier.
Yeah, everyone does.
Yeah, which I'm okay with, because obviously I do a lot of really, horrible podcasts. But it was good. I really liked it. So yeah, I think it was just, I thought it was going to be a little bit dirtier, more sex questions, I guess. But
the horribly awkward part is an internal thing. It has to do with my social anxiety, so I'm always just awkward.
Okay, that's totally fair. I appreciate that.
Yeah, so everyone thinks they're gonna come on and do some crazy shit.
Right.
But that's not me. I just want to get to know people for who they are. So I don't know. If it goes crazy, it does. With my friends, it gets a little crazier.
Right.
Because we just already know each other, so it's like,
right.
Oh shit! I have to edit this out.
Right. Yeah, totally understandable.
And let's see the last one. If you legitly saw a mermaid on the beach as a valet, and it just kind of jumped in the water and took off like a legit mermaid, would you tell people?
Totally. Yeah. Totally. I would tell everyone.
You're gonna tell them you saw a mermaid on the beach.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally.
Sylvia, you did not see a mermaid on the beach.
People already think I'm crazy, so if I see it, I'm going to tell somebody I fucking saw it.
How many edibles did you eat today?
Okay.
What were you doing on the beach in the winter?
Okay.
Yeah, that's always tricky. Whenever you want to tell people, but if you really saw a mermaid,
friends are already crazy. They'd be like, "Where? Let's go find it." That would be my friends.
Grab your pitchforks, and torches. Let's go.
Pitchforks? No, we don't want pitchforks. We're just gonna have cameras. We're gonna go make friends. See, that's the difference.
Well, are you kidding? You could have the best sushi ever.
I don't want to eat mermaid.
I don't know. Have you ever had a mermaid?
Not yet. Not yet.
It might be a very euphoric experience.
Possibly. Quite possibly.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's all the questions I have.
Okay.
That was awesome. This has been a great time, and I started off. I was super nervous when I first got on, and it went away very quickly.
Well, good. I'm glad. That's how my stand-up always starts as well. So.
Yeah, I bet you probably get the same feeling. You get butterflies. You like. And
yeah, I get butterflies. Yeah, every time.
And then
but
it goes.
I love it.
Yeah, that keeps you. It's also something that keeps you driving.
Yeah, I think Seinfeld said it once. When you lose the butterflies, that's when you shouldn't be doing comedy anymore. So I love the fact that I still get crazy butterflies. Sometimes I feel like I'm gonna vomit. If the person in stage in front of me who's bringing me up on stage doesn't introduce me fast enough, I'm like, oh, I'm losing my shit on the side of the stage. I'm like, oh my God, just bring me up because I'm gonna forget if I forget my opening, because my opening is different on every single show I do because I do it very based on where I'm playing and how I'm dressed. And so every show I do is a very different opening. And if the person in front of me is talking too long, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my shit. I don't even know what I'm going to say anymore. You're going to fuck me up. Get off the stage.
You just come out. Hi, I'm Sylvia.
Hey, I don't know what I'm saying.
And one more question, I guess I just thought of right now. How does it feel like when you got people howling? When you're killing, it must feel epic.
Dude, it is the most amazing feeling in the entire world. I can't even explain it. And I tell people all the time it's better than sex. And they're like, you're not having sex, right? I'm like, no, because you've never had a standing ovation for your comedy. It's the best feeling in the world to know that people respect you, not only as a person, but as a comic. And to be a comic, you have to be very intelligent. And to people to see your intelligence shining through your comedy it's an overwhelming feeling of confidence. So it's great.
That's the feeling I get when I say, hey, Sylvia, I'd love to get you on a podcast. And you say yes. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
My neighbor's like, what's going on over there? Yeah.
That feeling. Now I feel like we both just got a standing ovation.
We did. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm going to edit in right now. Everybody, give us a standing ovation. Yeah. The crowd, settle down. Too
much. I don't need this.
That was great. This is fantastic. So,
Good.
we're going to get to the wrap up. Hey, yo, Freeman.
Yo, what's up, Iams?
Dude, what's left to do?
I don't know, man. Wrap it up, son.
So you can find me on Twitter at Silvia Saige XXX, and that's SilviaSaige. You can find me on Instagram at Silvia Saige Sex. Like I said, I am heading to New York for the next few days, but I have a show as soon as I get back at Firefox Comedy Club at 10 p.m. on the 28th. You can also find me December 1st at the Ha Ha Cafe here in LA. And you can find me on December 3rd at the Teo Comedy Club here in LA. And you can find me on Monday the 5th at Sal's Comedy Hole. That's just my next few shows here. So
One day I will go and watch you live, and I'll be the guy in the going, Sylvia!
Yes. Come out and be that person.
Yes!
And I always want to say to fans, come up and after the show, tell me who you are. I'm always down to meet people. I'm always down to chat. I'm as real as people get. So I never turn away a fan, and I really appreciate each and every one of you. So
yeah, that's great. That's the connections we want as fans, you know. I like when people reach out to me to say, hey, I listened to this podcast. It was fantastic, and it makes me feel good.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
It makes me feel good. And I don't think this podcast was dirty enough, so let's before I do my wrap-up section, let's tell something dirty. Go ahead and tell something dirty to make up for all the less dirty we did. Does that make sense? I fucked up.
Tell something dirty. What am I supposed to tell dirty? All of my dirty stuff is so horrific.
Yeah, let's just shock them. Let's shock them.
They're all in story form. I don't even know where to go with this.
Anything awkward happen on a set?
Once again, they all go to poo. All of my awkward things revolve around poo. But yeah, I guess we'll just go with that story. So the most awkward that any male companion, I guess, on set has made me feel. And by the way, people, in porn, I work with all the same males time and time again. I know them all very well. There's not a lot of guys in our industry, so we rotate. But there's a male performer and based out of Florida. He works in Florida, works in Vegas, and he works in LA. His name is Bambino. You can look him up as well. And we were doing an anal scene one day, and apparently I hadn't cleaned as well as I thought I had. And he pulls out, and not only is there a little something on the end of his dick, but he pulls it up on his finger and now presents it to me and says, "What is this? What did you eat? What is this?" And I just had to bat his hand away, and I was like, "Why are you inspecting it? I don't know. I don't know what I ate. We don't need to discuss this. My meal last night was not up for debate right now." So yeah, that was a really awkward moment for me. But,
that was great. That's like, but you guys can still have fun with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
And with that said, yes, you guys can find the Horribly Awkward podcast on the BS Podcast Network. So shoot over to bspodcastnetwork.com. There's a lot of other great shows on there. Sylvia might like some of these shows. One of the shows is called Accidentally the Whole Tip.
Oh, nice. Like it.
Dropping Loads. That's another show.
Good. All good.
The Bitches Who Do Work. Yeah, there's a lot of shows. We got like 20 shows, I think, on that network. So if you guys want to listen to some other cool shit, listen to all those guys. And the guy from the host from Batman vs. James Bond show might have me on his podcast soon. I'm not sure how. I don't know much about James Bond and very little about Batman. So we'll see how that goes.
Very cool.
And I was a guest on the World of Row podcast hosted by Roal Santos, which should be up very soon. Might be up by the time you guys hear this podcast. I'm not sure, but if not, it will be up soon. You can find me on Twitter at awkward_podcast. My personal Twitter is at theycallmeiams. And that's as well as my gamer tag. If you guys are grown-ass children who play video games, I do as well. They call me IAMS is my gamer tag. So find me. And the email is horriblyawkwardpodcast@gmail.com. And the voicemail is 510-600-3475. I have a Facebook page, a YouTube channel. And those are very, they're there. I don't know. And Instagram, sort of. They're there. The little baby accounts, but they're there. It's time to admit those girls. What's one thing you've learned on today's podcast, Sylvia?
Oh my gosh. I feel like I've learned a few things on this podcast. That your mom is awesome. That I can help you get over your weed phobia, and that I can help you become less awkward in podcast.
Yeah, let's do that weed thing. That might be an experiment we can actually do.
I think we should. We should.
I'm scared. I might hit you up one day and go, hey, so I'm fucking freaking out. It's fucking 3 a.m. I'm freaking out.
You can call me with that freak out. I'll be there.
Awesome. Okay, I also learned that you started comedy and then you went to LA, very broke, and you struggled and you did it and you did porn after. I thought it was the other way around. I wasn't really sure.
Everyone does, yeah.
I'm bad at research. That's why I like.
No.
Yeah, that's why I like the podcast. I can get all this stuff out, and I just walk. You're just like the most down to earth person, and that's super cool.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Of course. As Gidget would say, peace out, Brussels sprouts.
Thank you, Gidget. Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you for coming and hanging out and just being the most awesome person in the world. And thank you to Slammerkin for this cool outro. It's my new perma outro, and I'm so warmed in the heart to have this. It's such an awesome thing, the people that I've met through podcasting, and I just want to say thank you, one more time. Thank you. One more time. Just one more. Thank you. A big shout out to Fear and Mandy from the Little Geek Lost. Mandy from the Little Geek Lost and Fear from the Fearcast and FYFC cast. Because I heard Slammerkin on their podcast, and that's how I got to know them. And getting to know them and having them on my podcast for my 1-year anniversary podcast where I just got super drunk and it was super long. I mean, that ended up turning into a relationship where I got this cool music. Right? I mean, that's super awesome. I can't express how much that warms my heart. After this plays and you guys hear the story from Sylvia that worked into our improv skit in the beginning, stick around for another Slammerkin song. This is one of their newest songs. It's called Two Worlds. It's another great song. You're gonna love it. Hit Slammerkin up on Twitter. Follow them on SoundCloud. Check out their other stuff. I mean, they're such cool people to get to know. Right? Yeah, I built a friendship off of a podcast guest. Now they are my friends, and I love it. All right, everybody. Good night. Bye-bye.
Hey, it's the S to the M and the L to the Issa. Slammerkins in the house, so drop your and listen.
Pour with glee, backward cock flash.
Merrily sock, bird telling cat.
Destiny doctor downcast.
Carelessly squandered lamb.
Heavenly slaughtered broadcast.
It's the Horribly Awkward Podcast.
Story that did pop into my head is when I shit my pants on a date, wearing a white dress and no. Well, I did have panties. I had to lose the panties because of the shitting. Yeah, that's how that worked. But yeah, that's my story. Do you want the whole thing? It's really awkward.
Yeah. Give me give me some more information. This is like the best horribly awkward story I've gotten.
I was on a date, trying to look sexy as hell in my little tight white dress, and we got out of his truck, and I kind of trusted a fart that I had been holding in while in the truck. And I should not have trusted this said fart because it let me down horribly. And I had to then walk up 3 flights of stairs in front of this gentleman, just praying that the shit is not going to run down my leg or be on the outside of my dress. Made it up those flights of stairs, made it into the bathroom, and had to ditch the underwear. No shit on the outside of my dress. Totally saved my evening, but horribly awkward few moments of my life, for sure.
Is that what you base it? I watched your stand-up. Was that like, I know there was something about a shit?
Oh, no, that's in my hand. That's a totally unrelated story. It's a totally different time.
Okay, that's okay. That was awesome. I really appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah. I like to let people know I'm still a human being. I think people see that I do porn and they're like, "Oh, you're not real." No, I'm incredibly real. I do all of the really awful things that everyone else does, and maybe worse. I don't know.
That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Not a lot of people are open about stuff. They want to make it look like they're perfect.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Oh, sweet, sweet. I'm so glad you shared that story. Okay, so we're going to do improv based on that.
Okay.
Let me get these coughs out. I shouldn't have drank lemonade right before we started.
Oh, no, that's the worst thing you could possibly do. I mean, I'm drinking red wine. It's not any better, but...
Oh, I wish I could drink some alcohol and I got to work in like 3 hours.
Even though you're gone and you can't come back, I won't leave you alone. You're part of my past. I know who you are. I can feel your heart. In the end you'll win, but you're missing a part. Do you remember me running through the woods? You'll always be my baby. You chose the path of pain again and again. I'm a little bird in your ear. Ever watch before you dear. You're caught between two worlds. You're caught between two worlds. You're caught between two worlds. The one that you abandoned and the other one abandoned you. At the end of the day, you'll come back to me. At the end of it all, I'm the last you'll see. At the end of the day, you'll come back to me. At the end of it all, I'm the last you'll see. Caught between two worlds. You're caught between two worlds. You're caught between two worlds. The one that you abandoned and the other one abandoned you. Caught between two worlds. You're caught between two worlds. You're caught between two worlds. The one that you abandoned and the other one abandoned you. At the end of the day, you'll come back to me. At the end of it all, I'm the last you'll see.
Oh, yeah, that's a horribly awkward show.